Well, you're very welcome back to Bealtaine Cottage here in the west of Ireland. And just a little reminder, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so. It helps the algorithms enormously, and I've been lagging behind somewhat. So, a few things that I want to share with you. First of all, the driveway has become just a muddy wreck. So, I decided I was going to order some gravel. Now, I ordered 2 ton of gravel, and that's going to be spread. In fact, I've already spread most of it and decided that, oops, I should have ordered some more. So today, Saturday, I'm going to be ordering and paying for another 2 ton. It's pretty expensive, this actually, because it works out at about €100 per ton. But it has to be done because if you don't take care of the roadway or the driveway up to your cottage here in the west of Ireland, because of all the heavy rain and so on and so forth, you will end up with a potholed, muddy mess. So maintenance is everything. And also, talking about maintenance, the gutters all have to be cleaned out. Again, it's just a wonderful thing about having a cottage because it's quite a low dwelling. So I can reach, even at my age, I can get up onto the ladder and reach up and clear the gutters. So with all the leaf fall, which is beautiful, of course, but yeah, there is always a little bit of a downside. And, you know, inside the cottage as well, because it's been one of the wettest autumns, I think, on record, well, since 2009 anyway, it's important to keep heat going and circulating, and also, even if you're not around, leave the interior doors open so you'll have this lovely circulation of air. Very, very important. Otherwise you'll get mould. You know, and I see online a lot of people complaining about mould in their bathrooms or mould in their bedrooms. And I can certainly advise you and say, windows open, please. Keep the windows open during the day. Keep the door closed. Then that way you're not going to get cold air in your dwelling. But the circulation of air is very, very important. Just a little reminder, by the way, that I have saved so many beautiful herbs that I've grown here at Bealtaine Cottage. And if you do order a book, specifically a book, from the website bealtainecottage.com, please send me a little message on my email to let me know which herbs you would prefer. I have bay, chamomile, thyme and rosemary. Okay? Bay, chamomile, thyme and rosemary. And all are good for using, for making tea or for culinary use. So the sitting room now is coming on. I still haven't finished it, by the way. I've done 2 1/3 walls. So I've got 1 2/3 to do, and then I've got paintwork to do. And as you can see, Patsy doesn't mind me working. In fact, she's inclined to supervise at times. I think the red looks really lovely. It really does allow everything else to pop. Now, I did say that I would keep you updated with everything that I was going to be doing in terms of visiting places. And tomorrow, Sunday, I'm going on a very special trip, and I will be visiting Monea Castle, which is just north of the border near Enniskillen. Now, this is a part of my sharing on YouTube because, you know, I wanted to start the other video channel, but it turned out to be quite complicated and a very long process. So I'm going to confine everything to this channel, Bealtaine Cottage. So I'll tell you a little bit about Monea Castle, and then, of course, I will be presenting the video to you sometime early on next week. So it was built for Malcolm Hamilton and completed in 1618. And Hamilton, as you know, would be a Scottish name, so it has a Scottish look about it. It's sort of the Ulster Scots, and it's got turrets, and it's very imposing. And it's got a walled bawn with rounded corner towers. And the castle fell briefly into Irish hands in 1641 and was held by Gustavus Hamilton, governor of Enniskillen, in 1688. Right, so that's going to be quite exciting. I mean, I'm quite excited about it because this is one of my passions. I mean, I love history and folklore and visiting places. And this was why I wanted to start the second channel dedicated just to that. But you know, hey ho, why not have it all on one channel? And it just makes life simpler for me. So, yeah, really looking forward to it. So I'm going to do a nice video about that and find out as much information as I can to pass on to you. So of course, it's always wonderful after hard work just to venture out and have a little dander around in the woodland. And this is what I did after I had finished spreading 2 ton of gravel. Yes, it was pretty hard going. Later on in the day, my eldest daughter came over to lend a hand, and I'll show you the results in a moment. And the decision was made to spread the gravel up around the cottage, but only really on the vehicle tracks. And that was to minimise the expense. So the same with the driveway going up, just to put the gravel on the tracks and leave the grassy bit in the middle of the driveway, because of course it seems to be a waste just to cover the entire thing with gravel. So I always try to do things with saving money in mind. Here's the 2 ton of gravel delivered, the wheelbarrow at the ready, and yeah, so I worked in total for 5 hours. My daughter came over at 2 o'clock and she worked for 2 hours. So between us, we managed to get the 2 ton of gravel spread. Here you can see me shoveling what I count up 13 shovelfuls of gravel. I always try to work with 13 because it is the number of the divine feminine, and I find it very empowering. It's also a wee bit ritualistic as well, just to count up 13. And even though, I mean, I worked really, really hard for those 5 hours, and by the end of the day I was completely exhausted. And I mean, like, I just thought that half of my body was just falling away. It was terrible. But I had an early night. I made sure that my bedroom was cosy and comfortable. Patsy on the bed beside me, the electric blanket on. And I slept like a log. And I woke up this morning and had no pains, had no after pains. My muscles feel fine. I'm in really good form and my energy levels are high. But of course, after I'd finished spreading the gravel, I did have a lovely long stretch of the legs, walking in my woodland. And my daughter had brought round some chocolate buns, which we had with tea. And it was just a nice end to the day. I don't know about you, but I don't mind hard work. I find it very invigorating, and I really feel I've accomplished something at the end of it. So I never get resentful of hard work. I never have been resentful of hard work. I've always seen whatever I've done as a personal challenge and to do my personal best. And a little something to finish off with. Remember the beautiful exhibition of patchwork quilts and other lovely things that I took you to in Oma? Well, here's a patchwork quilt I made 41 years ago when my youngest daughter was born. It stood the test of time well, hasn't it? A little bit of an heirloom. So blessings to you all. Oh, and that's a wine glass, but I didn't have wine in it. I had cranberry juice. Just to say, if you like this video, please press the like button and subscribe. It really helps me. Blessings to you all.